Hello, everybody. I am so glad you are here to hear about conscious language and mindset. I'm having some technical difficulties getting my phone to stay upright and for you to hear me. My stand broke on me, so learning to be an overcomer, right? And that's all a part about our conscious language and our mindset. So I'm just going to have to hold it because it's not working. All right. So what is conscious language? It is what we are aware of the words that we speak and how it affects our life. There is so many different ways that we can go with this, but I have to go at it from my own personal perspective, which is that everything is energy. Everything is either positive or negative or beneficial or non-beneficial, however you want to look at it. And are we consciously being aware of what we are putting out there for our lives? Okay, prime example, I tried to stop by the store to get something to help you to understand really what conscious language is reframing, like putting a frame around something on what we focus on. So when we have reframing or a different mindset, or we're looking at things a little differently, it's really going back to that, there's just so many ways. Let's say you wake up in the morning and you say to yourself, I'm so tired, it's gonna be a hard day. When you say that, you are putting that out there, and that's what you're gonna focus on, is how tired you are and all the difficulties you're going to have. Or you can reframe your mindset and say to yourself something like this: wow, today I am going to learn how to be an overcomer and to push through and just enjoy the things that I'm going to get accomplished today. So that means when you're reframing it, when you are changing your mindset, when you're putting the words out there, that's going to be what you focus on. Really, that's what conscious language is. Are things that you purposely speak over yourself, your life, your body, and your environment. There are many interesting studies out there on what your mindset, what you believe matters, because our thoughts are things. They are energy. They have power to it. They actually emit things that we can feel. Prime example, have you ever walked into a room where there were two people and you could feel the tension in the room? You could feel that they were probably having a little bit of a discussion and they hadn't said a word, but you could feel it. That's because their thoughts and their mind, what was going on in their mind, was affecting everything around them. But you've also went into an environment where no words have been spoken, but you can tell they're excited. You can feel it in the air because what they're thinking matters and what they're speaking matters. So let's take that into how we're living our lives and some of the things that we're actually saying. Yes, I agree that when you speak it, your feelings will follow. And we're going to talk about that in just a moment. I want to talk about a few studies that they have actually done. They did one study on, and this goes back to mindset, what you believe. And this goes into the conscious language. So they did a study on some young people who actually had an allergy to a specific plant. They blindfolded them and they did not allow them to see what they was brushing up against their skin. All of them had an allergy to this specific plant. They told them they rubbed their arm with the leaves of this plant. Within moments, all of them had a rash, similar to the rash that they would have if they had been exposed to the actual allergy. The funny thing was that was not the plant. It was a total different plant that none of them had had an allergic reaction to in the past. But because they believed that they were actually brushing up against that plant, it caused the body to react in a way. So their mindset was that that's what that was, and that was going to be the specific outcome even though that is not what happened. So what they believed matters. Their mindset mattered. Another very interesting story, they did some exploratory surgeries, okay, on people that were having a knee injury. And they were told that they were going to go in and clean out the damage done to their knees, okay? They told them all what they expect. Half of the people got the actual surgery when they went in and they actually cleaned out the knee, but the other half did not. They went through the whole process, the anesthesia, they did a small cut so that they would actually see, but they did not do anything on the inside. But they believed that they had surgery. So their belief system was that they were going through the surgery and it was going to get better. But guess what? Guess who had the better improvement on the outcome of those surgeries? The ones they did nothing to. What? So their belief system, their mindset is what helped their body to heal? Yeah. And the neatest one, oh, I love this one, okay? They did a study on a gold medalist, or he ended up being a gold medalist, but he wanted to set the world record in running the 100-meter dash. But what the trainer did was, he did not allow him to actually go out and do the training physically. He had him do the training in his mind first, where he had to visualize that he could actually run the fastest that he had ever done. So he had to see it in his mind. He had to have the belief system, the mindset that he could do it before he could ever do it physically. And as soon as he got out on that track, he was able to set a new world record. So our minds have so much power, not only in our thoughts, but in our words, because the thoughts happen first, and then that is what comes out into our words. The Bible tells us that such as a man thinks, so is he. So what you're thinking, and we're also told to take every thought captive, not to allow it to control us, but for us to control it. Excuse me. So what we think and what we speak matters so much. Many people call it conscious language, and it is very much that, but it's also a reframing of your mindset, okay? So I want to share a little bit about my own personal story and why this is so big for me. I come from a long line of living in poverty and having the mindset of a poverty mindset, not only in finances, but in health as well, and in personal relationships. And so all of my life, I never knew that I had a choice. I had a choice by the things that I was saying to myself and believed on what the outcome is going to be. I come from a large family. Many of us have had really hard difficulties in our life. And it was only the ones that changed our mindset, that started speaking life over ourselves, that were able to come out of that pit. And I can tell you from my own personal story that when I started seeing that I was a midwife, I helped women during the child labor, that the women that went into labor believing that labor was going to be really difficult and hard, guess what? It was more difficult and hard. The ladies that believed that they were going to be able to, that they were strong and courageous, and they were going to be able to handle it, and they were going to be relaxed, and they went in with the mindset that the body was created to do this, they tended to have much better labors because their mindset helped their bodies to function better. So when I started that 20 plus years ago, I really started focusing on my own words that I spoke over myself and the words that I allowed my children to speak one to another. I saw a huge difference in our lives between our minds and how we reacted and how we lived. Not that everything got perfect all of a sudden. This is not a name it, claim it. This is not new agey. This is all very biblical. There are many, many scriptures that talk about the power of the spoken word. Let me just share a few of them with you. I got to get to them. Well, number one, do you know that God spoke the entire world into existence with the spoken word? Yes, his word has power. So when we are speaking his words, that brings even more power. But it also tells us that our words either speak life or death. We are either speaking blessings or cursings, okay? So let's go on to a little more detail about how that actually turns into conscious language, right? I have to keep this short, so I'm only topically touching on this, okay? I want you to think about words that we speak to ourselves every single day. One of them is, okay, the world, existence out there, energy out there. This is not me. We say words like I can't or I want. What does the word want mean? Well, let's go back a little bit. What does the Bible says? It says, I shall not want. When we say want, we are implying that we lack something. And our body just goes, okay, we don't have it, so we're not going to put it out there. When we say words like I am, let me give you some differences in some of the words. Here are a few examples of phrases that we don't want to use, okay? Because they lead to negative thoughts. I hope to. I intend to. I'm going to try. I'll pray about it. All of those words that I just said, those are things that put off an action and any positive thinking, okay? Instead of saying those things, we can say things like, I am working towards that goal. Not I hope to get that goal, but I am working towards that goal. That means present, something that we are doing right now today that will make a difference. Or we can say, I will focus more on getting there. Whatever our focus is on is what we're going to pay attention to. Let me give you an example on that. I recently bought a new car, and in the process of buying a new car, I was looking at different SUV crossovers, blah, blah, blah. And it wasn't until I started looking at this one specific car that I started seeing that car everywhere I turned around. There's cars like the car that I bought all over. Now, did anything change overnight and all of a sudden magically those cars were there? No. The only difference is my focus on that specific car. I started seeing it. So if I am telling myself I can't, there are no new people to talk to, guess what I'm telling myself? That there are no new people to talk to. But if I reframe that, if I take that mindset and I say to myself, there are so many people out there waiting to hear about the product that I know is amazing, right? What am I going to start seeing? I'm going to start seeing the people that want to hear about the great things that we have, right? So our focus, our framing, what we look at is going to be what we are starting to bring about us, because our mindset goes to that. So again, we want to say things like I am, I will, yes, I can, or I have. Those are things present day to day. That means we're telling our body that it can do it. Like when I was going through my weight loss, I never said I am losing weight, because when I lose weight, guess what? You can find it again. I said I was getting rid of excess baggage, right? I don't need any excess baggage back on, right? The words we speak matters. I even told myself, I feel amazing in a 150-pound body. Now, have I hit that yet? No, but I'm on my way there. And that's telling my body that it is okay for me to feel amazing at that particular weight, especially when I started out well over 300 pounds, right? So, again, the words we speak matters. If we want to use this conscious language in a way that is helpful for us, I want us to look at it in these 4 ways, okay? Again, this is very, very basic. Your mindset matters, what you believe and think matters, because that's going to be how your words come out. But these are just some of the 4 ways that it's going to work in your daily life, okay? I want you to think about what you say. Okay, be conscious of what you say after I am. I am reaching my goals quicker and quicker every day. I am hitting a certain rank earlier and earlier every month with grace and ease, right? Because that's what I am wanting to put out there. I am challenging myself to focus, to frame on, to allow my my energy to go towards that goal, okay? This is one of the most powerful expressions that we can use, the I am. God says that he is the I am, and we are created in his image to live in that fashion, to know who we are created in his likeness, right? So who do you say that you are? Okay, what you say after I am creates who you are as an individual. It shapes your personality, your ego, your confidence. How many people here say, well, I'm just not that confident. I'm not as confident as they are. You won't be as long as you believe that, but when you start changing that and realizing who you are, it makes all the difference, okay? It helps you to let go of all of that negative self-talk. I want you to choose to say only positive expressions of who you are and let go of any negative, limiting talk that isn't in line with who you choose to be. Your life and your outcome is your choices that you make every day. And that comes from the words that we speak. That comes from what are we speaking into our lives. As I started my Young Living journey, I never intended for it to be a business. It ended up being a business. I am not business-minded. I am personal relationship-minded. But I've had to learn a lot. See, I had to learn. No, I was blessed to learn so much about business and how to motivate and help people. And to also realize that it was my choice, that it was my choice to get these things. It was my choice to speak into myself. It wasn't what I believed at the beginning. I never believed that I would get to X amount of money per month income. I just never thought that. I've had to increase that amount 3 times because once I started speaking that amount, I was never about a rank. Mine was more about a number to help me to live in a fashion to where I could serve more people. And so I've had to continually change that. So when every month, every day, I have things that I say to myself, I am able to live off of X amount of money so that I can serve so many people, and I'm getting that money through Young Living. It makes all the difference, okay? If you don't fully believe it, you can still affirm who you choose to be as you step more fully into it, right? Even if you don't fully believe that you're confident, you can say, I am more confident every day, right? That is something we can say. And the more you do things, the more that you do those hard things that push you to expressing your confidence, the more that you see your confidence really is getting more and more every day. So be conscious of what you say after I am, okay? The next one is I want you to choose. Use I choose, I can, I desire, instead of I must, I want, I need, I should, or I shouldn't. These are very basic words, okay? You are always the pilot of your own life, okay? So expressing what you choose to create and can do is far more empowering than suggesting you need, want, must, should, or shouldn't do anything, right? This is focusing on the lack. We don't want to focus on what you don't have. We want to focus on what you want. No, what you are desiring, right? See, I did it. I still catch myself saying words that aren't the best. You want to focus on your desires, right? Setting yourself up as a victim when you're using those lack, that doesn't make you the master of your own life. It makes you just a victim. When you speak your desires, you are choosing to do the thing. So choose words as I choose to do this. Today I choose to build a Young Living business. Today I choose to invest in 10 people's lives. Today I choose to love and respect others even when they don't deserve it. Today I choose to get, have things that you're writing down that you know that you are making the choice to do this. This is not a victim. This is a confident person stepping out and loving on themselves and others, okay? So number 3, if you hear yourself saying something negative or limiting out loud, like I did a second ago, correct it. Don't say things like this. I could never play tennis like that, or I'm not good at public speaking. Reframe it. This is when that frame really is going to come in. Learn to be able to change those negative words into something positive that is still truthful. Conscious language is not telling a lie. It's telling yourself where you want to be, okay? And when you say that, now 5 years ago, I would never have been able to tell you that I would be doing Facebook Lives in front of hundreds of people. I just wouldn't. I would have never have thought that I would have done a YouTube video and over 1,000 people watched it, because I would have gone, no, I would never do that, right? But as I've learned and grew and reframed my mindset, more and more things opening up. So learn to reframe. I try not to correct a lot of people unless I have a great relationship with them and feel comfortable, because sometimes when I hear people say those things that are so negative, they hear me say things like, or, and then I will take it and reframe it into a positive light. So instead of using things like, I could never play tennis like that, you could say things like, I will continue to improve my tennis skills. Do you see a difference? One is focusing on improvement and the other one is saying never. That's not where we want to be, because if you say never, that's what your body's going to do. That's what you're going to be, what you put out there, okay? Instead of saying things like, I could never be good at public speaking, say things like, I am an excellent public speaker and choose to be even better each and every day. Before I got onto this call, I had to say, I have courage and strength, and I am going to share from my heart, and the words that need to be spoken are going to be spoken, and the hearers' hearts are going to be open, because I was scared. I don't think I'm a great public speaker, but it doesn't matter, because I'm choosing to share what I know and know that each and every time I get better and better. Okay? So when you hear yourself speaking negative, reframe it. Make it into something positive and go from there. Many people do say something like cancel or delete, meaning that they are canceling that negative energy that went out there, and then they put out the positive energy, okay? The last one is take the word try out of your language. Yep, that's not a good word, okay? There is no trying to do something or not trying to. You are either going to do it or give it your full focus, right? Or you're not. Either you're going to do it, meaning you're taking some time to invest in doing it, or you don't. There is no real try. And I know y'all are all quoting the Yoda quote, right? So either is fine and perfect and entirely your decision. Just don't lie to yourself that you're going to try when you're really not going to. You know, when you say you're going to try, you're not putting your full focus into it. Okay? Just be honest with yourself. Have you ever tried to pick up a chair? No, you either picked it up or you haven't. And that's the way it is with much of what we've done. So let's also use this conscious language about our health and well-being. We can say that, I hope I don't get sick. I hope I don't catch what's going on around right now. What are you telling your body? It's a flip of the coin. You might get it or you might not. Who knows? You have no control over that. But what you can say to your body, which is very encouraging and uplifting and increasing your frequency, is that my body is living in perfect health and healing every day, and it is able to overcome anything that it might be exposed to. Now remember, we still take personal responsibility in taking care of our body and giving our body what it needs, but our mindset has a lot to do with that as well. I know all of you have that know me have heard me say, I hardly ever get sick, because I don't. I get tired and I get run down, and I might need to take some time to get renewed and refreshed. But my body stays well because I'm reminding it to be in that state. So remember, the words that you speak matter, okay? There's something else right here. I want to end with this. Conscious language helps you to identify your limiting beliefs. So when you know what your limiting beliefs are, if you pay attention to the words that you are speaking, you will notice that those are the areas that you need to do some reframing in. Those are the areas that you need to have conscious language over. I'm going to give you an assignment. I want you to write down 10 things that you will say to yourself until you can reach it, okay? Meaning, like for me, it was, I'm trying to find all my things that I wrote down. I have a lot of notes here and I can't find it. Okay, here's just a few of the things that I say to myself. I am daily finding new people to share my passion for living well with, both physically, emotionally, and spiritually. People seek me out and want the products that I am using, and they are easily investing into their own wellness. I also write things like, I love being surrounded by positive and motivated people who want to build a team of their own and become great entrepreneurs. I also say things like, I easily assist others in sharing their own passion about living well. Do you see how those are things that I'm putting out there? I hit rank earlier and earlier with Grace and Ease every month. You know, because at the beginning of the month, all of our people in the organization I'm with, Young Living, they start at the beginning of the month as a distributor. And as the earlier you hit a rank, the better your organization is. So for me, when I'm saying that, that's meaning that I am doing the work that is necessary. But I'm speaking these things to myself, helping me to put my mindset and my focus on that. So that means everything that I do is going to help me get to that goal. I was listening to Marcia Elevon Harding the other day, and one of the things that she was saying was that when her and her family get around and get together, they always end up talking about Young Living or something about living well. And one of the grandchildren said something like, can't we go somewhere where we don't talk about, oils or Young Living or whatever? And she said, but that's all of our life. All of our life is revolving around living well. It's not necessarily the product, it's the mindset of living well. So when we have the mindset of living well, no matter what we're doing, we are putting it out there and reframing and speaking life over ourselves and our organization and all of the team members. So I hope this has been a little bit helpful. I know it's been all over the board, but I want you to know that your words can either bring blessings or curses, that there is power in your tongue, that there is the law of sowing and reaping, meaning what you put out there is going to be what you get back, that we can actually train our brain to focus more and to see the things, the blessings that we have. It's that attitude of gratitude, that when the more things that you're grateful for, the more things that you see, and your blessings multiply because we are seeing them. They're already there, but we just don't see them before. So your belief system matters, because what you believe is going to be what you think about. What you think about is going to be what you speak, and what you speak is going to be what you are putting out there and what you are going to be creating in your own world. So thank you for joining in. I hope this wasn't long. I hope it was very helpful. If you have any questions, please message me, and thanks for joining in.